Today I'm Toba Emmanuel. I'm your real estate consultant. On my last video, I was able to explain to you that you can venture into real estate with as much as no capital. And what do I mean by this? I was able to explain to you that the simple system of venturing into real estate is by renting, is by buying, and is by giving out or leasing out. Now, if you want to rent and you don't have capital, just take a little amount that can rent an apartment. If it's 2-bedroom apartment, 3-bedroom apartment, 4-bedroom, or a room and parlor self-contained, or a room self-contained, it can be in a school area. Just ensure that such area are selling for rent. Now you can rent such apartment with any amount, but ensure that you have a written agreement between you and your landlord. I did this in my last video. You can rent the apartment out and furnish the building. Then after furnishing the building, you can now put it out on a higher lease. If the building is, for instance, 1 million naira, you can rent it out for 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 million naira after furnishing. But note that you must have paid 5 years rent for your own landlord before putting such apartment out, because your landlord will definitely want to increase your rent. Your landlord will definitely want to increase your rent. So the best way to outsmart your landlord is to have paid for 5 years and you consistently put your house on rent on a higher price. And in fact, I've gotten someone that actually got an apartment out for 10 years, and after 10 years he started renting it out again for people. After 10 years, started renting the house out again for people, and he had already had an agreement, a written documentation with him and the landlord. So it's not like buying the house for 10 years, then after 10 years, that is when the owner will still have to take over his own apartment again. So his wisdom you use to cash out money out in real estate. Now let's quickly talk about today's topic, which is venturing into house flipping. How do you venture into house flipping? What are those things you have to consider in venturing into house flipping? And how much do you actually need to venture into house flipping? What are the danger zones in house flipping? What is house flipping? House flipping is a process by which you buy an old building, a land, and you convert, you make some things on it, or do some things on the building or on the land that will increase the price of the land within short duration, and you sell it off. It can either be a short duration or it can be a long duration, depending on how smart you are on this decision making. Now, when you decide to go, there are two types of house flipping actually. You have house flipping, you have land flipping. You can flip a house, you can flip a land. How do you flip a land? You can buy a land of 1,000 square meter in a high selling environment. I want to give you a good example of Lagos State in Victoria Island. You can decide to buy 1,000 square meter. If the buildings on it are not good, you can demolish the building. You can divide it into 500 square meter too. Then you do a good documentation on it. You sell it off higher than the price you got it. For instance, let's say it's 200 million naira, you got the 1,000 square meter. You can decide to divide that land into two, 500 square meter, 500 square meter, and you are selling it for 150 million naira for each 500 square meter. It's as sweet as that. It's as sweet as that. So far you have a good documentation. You don't just venture into real estate without knowing some vital keys. We don't just talk on YouTube, we don't just talk on social media for you to just venture into them. We are telling you all these things so that you can know the skills, this little secret behind it, so that when you want to consult anybody, you know what you're actually going for. Nevertheless, there are some things behind the scene that you might actually not know. That is why it's always good to consult a real estate expert whenever you want to venture into real estate investments. I will say again that every risk, decision you make is at your own risk if you do not consult an expert or a mentor in real estate. Now let's quickly go into house flipping. Now house flipping is a process by which you buy an old building in a high selling environment. In a high selling environment, you convert the old building to a new building and you sell it off. What are those things you actually do on a building to bring a great market value on a building? Now, number one is the roof, number two are the doors, number three is the interlocking in the compound, number four the windows and the gates. and the fencing if it's not fenced. Now you ensure that the doors are changed, the ceiling are changed, is not ceiling changed to POP, and the roofing is changed to a standard roofing. If it's not tiles, you tiles it. The doors are changed to a standard doors, and if it's a latrine toilet, you change to a water closet toilet. You do kitchen cabinet and you give it a good painting. And once you have done this, the price of the house would have gone within the duration you used to do the house. Even though it's within 1 month, the price of that house would have gone times 3. I repeat, the price of that house would have gone times 3. Nevertheless, it's very important that you consider the cost of renovation. So you must have people that can help you to renovate the building. Don't just go and call a roadside engineer that will waste cement for you, waste your money for you, waste time for you, because time and resources are power in this flipping system. Because if you are going renovating a house and it's taking you 1 year, it's taking you 2 years, there's no more profit on it. Because if you are trading with Naira, meaning that you know how exchange is actually fluctuating. Cement might come down today, tomorrow is going up. So if you started buying a bag of cement for 2,000 or 5,000 naira today, it's after 1 month the price might change to 10,000 naira. Only God knows where Nigeria is actually turning to. So we consider time as a factor in house flipping. Time is a good factor. It's only on land flipping you might not be considering time, because the more you stay on land flipping, the more you make your profit too. But when it comes to house flipping, time is a great factor. So within maximum of 3 months, I tell people, if you want to go into house flipping, maximum of 3 months, you must be done with the renovation. And before you even start renovating, what you do is your architect must give you a picture or a flex you can put at the front of the building to let people know this building is for sale. So you put the picture of what you want to erect there at the front of the building and you put for sale there instantly when you're about starting. So you can decide saying this building is going for 3 million naira before we are done constructing. Now once you are done constructing, the building will go for 5 million. So people will definitely rush and want to buy it. So you might have even sold the building before completing the construction. But nevertheless it's a danger zone for you if you don't have an expert to put you through. I repeat, it is a danger zone for you if you don't have an expert to put you through. Now what are those things? After doing all these things, you've changed them. What are those things you have to consider again? Your document is power. The document of the property you are buying is power. Ensure that it's having a good document. It might have C of O, it might have even deed of assignment and survey and family receipts are still power too. But nevertheless, ensure that the source of the property are genuine, and once they are genuine, you can go ahead and buy. Please ensure you have a consultant to help you confirm that before venturing into purchase of any property for house flipping. Now land flipping, what are those things you do on land to make land price increase? The perimeter fencing is the power. You must fence the land to a minimum level. You must put gates if you have the power. And if you don't have the power, just do the fence alone. Level the land if it's not leveled. If you can interlock the road down to where the land is, or if you can level the road where the land is, if the road is not good, make sure you level it. You can do gutter to the entrance of the gate or close to the gate, do gutter. All these things will bring increase in price to your property, because if you can do the road or you can interlock the street that leads to where the land is, I won't lie to you, you'll be selling that land higher than any land in that environment, because it will be known to people that you are the one that actually did it and you are the first visionary of that environment. So it's a smart one if you can interlock the street, if you can interlock the compound, good one. But it's not always actually wise to interlock the compound, because people will definitely see us erect building there. But you can just plant some flowers around there. You can do the fencing, plaster the fencing, do a good painting on the fence, and erect a good gate. Then you sell it higher than the price you actually bought it. And if you don't have that power to do go, just cut the land into 2, into 3, then you sell it higher, and ensure that you just make profit. If you need a consultant, I am Toba Emmanuel to help you. My contact is on the screen. Please like, share and follow.